Imagine waking up every day feeling like you're trapped inside a story someone else wrote for you. You know, that crushing sense of being free only on paper, tied up by invisible rules that no one gave you a say in. You're told to chase freedom, but what you really get is a set of shackles disguised as choices, comfort zones, social expectations, hollow definitions of success. It's a joke, and it's killing the best parts of you. You're out here hustling, building, investing, leading, but are you really free? Or have you been handed a script that makes you play a part designed to keep you small? This is the brutal truth nobody talks about. Liberty isn't just a right, it's a responsibility. And if you don't own it, it owns you. Look around. The world loves to sell you freedom as a checkbox. Freedom to speak, to vote, to run your own business, maybe even to innovate. But it rarely shows you what it's like to truly carry the weight of freedom. And that means more than just breaking chains on paper. Real freedom demands that you fight for your mind, that you tear down the stories society feeds you, and build your own reality from the rubble. It's not enough to say, I am free. You have to prove it every day by daring to do what others won't. Freedom is the heaviest load because it demands you be accountable, not just to laws, but to yourself, to your vision, to the future you want to create. Maybe you felt it, the gnawing restlessness eating at your soul, the voice whispering, there has to be more. You've stared into the abyss of conventional life and seen yourself fading into a version of success that satisfies everyone but you. You see your peers conforming, settling for mediocrity disguised as safety. You watch systems that promise opportunity but reward inertia, that claim to serve, but instead suffocate innovation and silence the rare voice that challenges them. And you wonder, how do you break through without losing what makes you, you? Here's the secret no one wants to admit. Freedom doesn't come to the passive, to the comfortable, to those waiting for change to find them. It lands on the shoulders of the restless, the bold, the ones who burn with a fire so fierce they refuse to let it die. Your liberty isn't handed to you. You have to take it. And once you do, it becomes a responsibility that will demand everything you have and everything you are willing to become. There's no path that's easy, no roadmap without wild unknowns, no freedom that isn't earned through relentless rejection of the status quo. If you are a founder, an investor, a leader, it's easy to get lost in roles, titles, and the illusions of control. But real liberty shatters those illusions. It strips you down to one truth. You are not your job, your title, your bank account. You are an individual with the unique power to reshape reality itself. Not tomorrow, now. But to wield that power, to unleash the revolutionary force inside, you must first recognize that freedom is active. It demands critical thinking that dismantles convenient lies. It demands transformation that breaks every comfort zone. It demands partnering with those few who burn as fiercely as you do, not the crowd that settles. Ask yourself, when was the last time you questioned everything? Not just strategies or markets, but your own beliefs, your assumptions about how the world works? Real freedom begins here, with relentless critique of your own reality. The system wants you to obey, to optimize, to organize, but not to transcend. It depends on your compliance, your willingness to play small. Refuse it. Be ruthless in your curiosity and brutally selective with your alliances. Align only with those rare few who match your intensity and vision. Because true liberty thrives in those rare, dangerous, unexpected connections that explode into new possibilities. And let's get real about patience. Freedom is not an event. It's a long game, and eternity favors those who understand that transformation is a process, slow and demanding. The courage to be patient is rare, but without it, every burst of rebellion burns out prematurely. The responsibility of liberty is to stay in the fight long after comfort calls you back. To build systems that last, to create networks that amplify the individual into collective power without diluting the unique spark that started it all. You don't have to settle for being misaligned or isolated anymore. The world currently offers no infrastructure for the exceptional. It breaks down brilliance into manageable pieces and rewards the mediocre. That's why it feels like the few who dare are scattered, misunderstood, lonely, unheard. But here's the truth. The few are all you need to remake everything. When those few connect, when their rare talents align, they form a network that no system can crush, no status quo can silence. This is the new frontier. This is where revolution starts, not with noise, but with essence. Not with the many, but with the few who refuse to accept limits. The world wants to keep you comfortable, numb, and compliant because true freedom threatens everything it's built on. It promises ease, but only serves confusion. It tells you to blend in while valuing conformity. This isn't freedom, it's slavery disguised as sugar. Real slavery doesn't look like chains. It looks like convenience. It looks like routine. It looks like a smiling cage. To step into your liberty means ripping open that cage, embracing the discomfort, and owning your power as a torchbearer of radical change. This isn't about making life easier for you. It's about making life yours, on your terms, with your fire blazing. No longer a passenger watching the world's illusions parade by, but a sovereign force, crafting new realities where the exceptional thrive, where those who understand the responsibility of freedom find support, connection, and unstoppable momentum. This is the place where leadership evolves beyond roles and titles, where investors and founders don't just fund or build, but ignite transformation that bubbles beyond borders and old systems. If you feel that unbearable silence inside, the one that says you were meant to prove the impossible possible, to push boundaries no one else dares to touch, that's your true freedom calling. And it will demand everything: madness, patience, ferocity, fairness, and a ruthless refusal to surrender your soul to convenience. This freedom isn't a gift, it's a declaration, a promise to stand apart, to challenge everything, to build not just business or money, but a world where the rare are no longer isolated, where brilliance becomes collective force. The day will come when you look back and realize that no one handed you liberty. You took it. You fought for it. You carried its responsibility with fierce pride. And in doing so, you didn't just change your world. You unleashed a power that rewrote history. That power starts here, now, with the choice to see liberty not as a right given, but a responsibility embraced. So burn with it. Question everything. Refuse the ordinary. Find those who fight like you, and craft a new reality that honors your fire. Because true freedom never waits. It demands you rise,